Peace, what's going on, Soul Fam? So, I wanted to do a continuation of how the zodiac signs are misunderstood. So now we're going to go into Taurus. Now, Taurus is ruled by the second house and everything. And the second house is going to be dealing with possessions. And since the moon is exalted in the second house, we're going to be dealing with possibly family heirlooms that you value and everything to yourself and everything. Like glass gem corn, which I just discovered, that's native to Oklahoma. That's like an heirloom and everything. And it's based upon growing a seed and everything like that. So it's like something, and that's like a Native American like heirloom and everything like that. So it plays out energies where your second house, this is what you value. These are the things that you plant seeds in, and then when you plant these seeds, whether it's blueberries, strawberries, sheep's wool, cheese, milk, whatever you're trying to give and offer to the world and everything, this is going to fall into your second house. These are things that you value also. And since it's the earth element, these are things that you have to work on also in order to give this to the world. This is Taurus. This is which is ruled by the second house. Fixed earth. Earth is dealing with shape. Earth is dealing with formations, like this old concrete solid things that you can touch. Five senses, smell, sight, touch, all that stuff, that's ruled by Taurus and everything. Fixated earth. So this is like, when it's fixated earth, it's like Taurus, when they say Tauruses are stubborn, it's like they don't want to leave a certain living condition. And they don't want to leave like a certain comfort zone that they have also, which is why the moon is exalted in Taurus. So it plays out energies like that too. But Venus is at home in Taurus. Venus being at home in Taurus, this is, and this, since this is a feminine-based energy, because this is earth, this isn't pushing out thoughts, aka air, this is receiving thoughts, aka earth. So I know I have my hand right here where my heart is, but you receive thoughts too, and then you first you receive the energy through the heart and everything like that, and then it comes up to the mind, and now you have to process this shit, and whether you want to communicate it, but that's a whole nother topic and everything. But anyway, Venus being at home in Taurus, this is the feminine side of Venus. This is the negative side of Venus, the receiving side of Venus. Not the plug itself, but the actual socket that you plug into the wall, the outlet that you plug into the wall. That's the feminine side of Venus. That's Taurus. Taurus loves to be in a situation where it loves to receive gifts. Even if it's like words, like receiving beautiful words from somebody, aka somebody telling a Taurus that they mean the world to them and everything like that. That's the world to Taurus right there, because it's receiving all this love and appreciation and everything. And then Taurus is willing to compromise with other people, which is Venus also, and is able to be relatable for the sake of having a foundation with each other and everything, and being able to share certain experiences with each other based upon material-based things, or based upon things that are beautiful to this world. AKA you may compensate with a partner to go to the woods and go camping or some shit like that. AKA you using your five senses to absorb nature around you in general with the Taurus archetype. But with Venus, the negative side would be that Tauruses also like to indulge too much. And with the moon being exalted here, Tauruses may be very lazy and everything. Tauruses may play the energy of being like sitting on the couch, way too comfortable, eating too many Doritos and everything like that. Just getting way too lazy and everything. That would be the negative side. And then with the negative side of the moon being exalted in Taurus, it would play out energies of you overreacting. Tauruses would overreact if they couldn't pay a bill on time, or if they felt like they were getting an eviction notice or something like that, or if their car was getting towed. It would be like overreactionary kind of energy, to the point to where Tauruses will bring their pointers out and everything, aka the bull, and fucking kill your ass and everything. So you gotta be careful. Mars is away in Taurus, meaning that Tauruses don't really deal with the energy of intent and everything like that. When I'm talking about intent, when this kind of opposition, we're talking about the feminine side of Mars, not the Aries side of Mars, but we're talking about the Scorpio side of Mars. We're talking about Tauruses are not really in favor of other people having their own intentions and hiding it from a Taurus, because a Taurus wants to have a sense of security, aka a sense of emotional security, the moon exalted, and a sense of compromise, and as far as love, aka Venus. With the Martian energy, the Taurus may be thrown off and confused, kind of playing out energies like, why are you being so to yourself? Why do you have your own intentions? We need to compromise with each other and everything. That's how it can play out with the negative side, or just the left field aspect of Mars and everything in Taurus. And then Uranus falls in Taurus. And the reason Uranus falls in Taurus is because we're playing out energies where Uranus is change, rebelliousness. Rebelliousness energy is not really in tune to what Taurus is about, which is security, emotional security, and valuable security, as far as, you know, things that we could secure ourselves with, as far as a home, being able to pay our bills on time and be able to have a source of income to be able to pay our bills on time and everything. But Uranus, it's like whenever you play the energy of trying to change, a Taurus would be like, what the fuck? I'm not trying to change. I'm good with what I'm doing and everything. I'm stable. I got a foundation. I got a home. My emotions are secure. And then when people play out energies of trying to change and like rebel and like moving to a new location, a Taurus would be like, I'm good with where I'm at right now. But with Uranus fallen, you have to play out the energy of rising above the fallen archetype and be able to change and within a time's notice, be able to adapt with the environment and not be so stubborn with that Taurus archetype. Now, when it comes to what Taurus misunderstands and the misunderstandings of the Taurian energy, we're dealing with Libra and Sagittarius, because the opposite of Taurus is Scorpio, and the two signs next to Scorpio are Libra and Sagittarius. Now we're going to start with the more positive side, the more of the energy that, even though it is a misunderstanding, it could be more understood than the other side. One second. Sorry about that. But yeah, starting with Libra, because Libra is also ruled by Venus too. But this is the masculine side. This is the pushing out side. This is like you telling somebody that you appreciate them. This is cardinal air. So you're going to be playing out the energy of starting a relationship, aka you. When they say that phrase, like, you have to be the one to, you know, start the conversation, to be able to start a bond, as far as like if you're trying to like holler at somebody, like a girl or a boy or something, like, or a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? As far as like seeking a relationship, that's what it means by the cardinal air aspect. Cardinal air could be equated to you pumping air and everything, or an air pump in general. AKA Libra is the start of the air archetype, and then it goes to Aquarius, which would be you filling air within the tire. Libra relating these energies into an actual container, and now it can take this container and relate this idea to other people and not be able to forget it. And then, like I said, take it to other people, take it to Gemini and everything, aka the air spews out of the tire over time, and the tire leaks from time, and then you play out energies of being able to make this energy that was pumped into this air, be able to use it for mutable air, aka relating this to multiple people and everything. So that's how the air archetype plays out. But anyway, this is the masculine side of Venus. So Taurus understands this energy because it's still receiving the energy of compromising, of love. AKA Taurus would love to hear from a Libra its beautiful words, because it's just a high sense of resonation and everything. You know what I'm saying? Now this is when things start to get a little muggy. Now we got Saturn is exalted in Libra. Now with Saturn being exalted in Libra, this plays out as an opposition to the exaltation of Taurus. AKA Taurus's high points is having emotional security, being able to react to its senses and everything the way it wants to and everything, being able to indulge emotionally into you know, its needs and everything, because the moon is your needs, not your wants. That's the sun sign. Now, in this case, Saturn is exalted in Libra. So while they understand the realm of compromising, a Libra may be more at its highest point when it's trying to gain structure within a relationship and everything. Trying to gain boundary and restrictions within the relationship, like you can't do this, that, and the third. A Libra may tell the Taurus, you can't do this, that, and the third because of these particular reasons. You can't talk to this person, or you can't go to this movie theater or eat this food because I care about your health and everything, aka boundaries and restrictions on your health. AKA Tauruses may indulge into like, you know, their sensations and like eat sweets or some shit like that, or indulge into their foods. So they may not understand a Libra, because a Libra may try to be adding to maybe exalting too much boundaries and restrictions onto the Taurus with the exalted moon, because the moon and Saturn naturally oppose each other, aka Capricorn ruled by Saturn and Cancer ruled by the moon are opposing each other just naturally and everything. So this is how the exalted archetype plays out as a misunderstanding with Taurus and Libra. So they understand each other as far as compromising, but they may misunderstand like what to compromise with and everything, aka Libra deals more with structure, Taurus deals more with how it feels and everything, you know what I'm saying? So as far as the exalted points. Plus you got fixed earth and cardinal air. Air is trying to, you know, budge the Taurus, and Taurus is just like, nope. Now, another thing that they both share in common is they both don't really care for alternative motives and everything like that, and too much passion and too much of being their own individual. So Tauruses and Libras hella compromise with each other and everything, even though they may not understand what they may want to compromise with, as far as like, you know, the Taurus may be stubborn in how it feels, and the Libra wanting to just gain a little bit of, you know, structure. Well, not a little bit, exalted, because it's exalted in Libra. It plays out that energy also. Now, they both understand that they can't add too much intent in their own personality, because that's going to drown out the compromising and the relatable aspect of the Venusian energy. So they understand this energy also. It's just that Taurus understands that keeping things a secret as far as people's intents is fucked up, and a Libra understands that externally showing your ass and everything, as far as like, I'm just going to be me and I'm going to be me. A Libra doesn't understand this shit also, but they're both understanding that the Mars energy is not really necessary to their natural energy right now. They can play it out, but it may be uncomfortable, and they may feel forced to try to be their own individual just to, you know, blend in with the crowd for the time being. And then the Sun falls in Libra also. Now, if the Sun falling in Libra, this means that Libras don't take action the way that they should initially within their relationships. Meaning it could play out an energy where, let's say you're getting cheated on in a relationship. A Libra may not act 100% accordingly, because they're so much in the realm of compromising and wanting to be relatable, that they would rather try to be more relatable to the partner that just cheated on them, so that they could bring them back, and so they won't get reeled in with other people who may feel like that other person that they cheated on is more relatable than the Libra is and everything. So, but at the same time, what I'm saying is it may take action, but not like super necessary action like leaving the relationship. It may not take action as far as trying to find a new person who resonates with you and everything. You may take action in a docile kind of manner. Both Libras, you can rise your sun above that, you know, you can rise the sun to that exalted area and everything via Aries, and be your own individual, to where you're not letting people like run all over you and everything like that with the Libra archetype. Now, with Taurus and Libra, Taurus, you know, its fallen state is change and rebelliousness, and Libra's fallen state is taking initiative and action and everything. So at the same time, they play this energy too, because they both, you know what I'm saying, they both don't understand, well, basically they both misalign with opposites. So it's playing out kind of like opposite energies with the fallen states also. AKA a Taurus doesn't know how to rebel and change the right way, and a Libra doesn't know how to take initiative and action. So if a Taurus and a Libra are together, they may not understand the initiative that they need to take to be able to fight for a cause and everything, or take lead for a particular cause. Either of them. They may even argue with each other like, no, we need to do this, that, and the third and everything, and it may be too much quarreling to where no initiative action and no actual change or rebelliousness, or, you know, just change in general is done either way. But in general, Taurus, you know, understands Libra a lot more than Sagittarius, the next side of the inconjunction. Now, sorry, I had to catch my breath. Now, with this side of the inconjunction, we're dealing with Sagittarius, which is mutable fire. Mutable fire is, first of all, fire is like you dancing and everything. This is like the fluidity and everything. This is you know, hand signals and everything, you know, sigils with the hands, and, you know, I mean, I can't do hand signals and shit, but it's like that basically kind of energy and everything. That's like one of the first forms of communication, is the fire energy. You know what I'm saying? So facial expressions, a lot of that deals with the fire energy also. Is dealing with an image and a thing that you can see and everything. Seeing, like reading body language and everything, will be dealing with fire. So Sagittarius, this is putting meaning and reasonings onto things also. The positive side of Jupiter, externally putting a meaning and reasoning onto things that we can see physically. Whereas the Piscean side would be more like you putting a meaning and reasoning onto a dream, something internally that's going on inside of you. That's how that would play out. But with the misconjunction, this energy, you know what I'm saying, Taurus doesn't really understand, you know, going outside of its limits and, you know, experiencing the world and everything. Experiencing different imaginary visions, experiencing new places, experiencing new lands and everything. Experiencing new shit in general. Taurus may not understand this because it may be founded in its own foundation, aka the fallen side of Taurus is Uranus, aka it doesn't want to change, aka aspects of Sagittarius sextile Aquarius, which Uranus co-rules Aquarius. So that sense of change, of individuality and broadening your horizons, Also, Taurus squares Aquarius, so it has to learn how to be an individual also and how to be unique and be out of the box. And then Taurus at the same time doesn't understand how to, broaden its horizons at the same time, which is why it gets that archetype of Taurus as being stubborn and stuck in their ways, because they don't know how to broaden themselves and expand themselves. And if they do try to expand themselves, it may be for the detriment of their own, aka expanding indulgence, expanding too much of your overreactionary energy, aka Tauruses may expand too much to the point where they may overreact to shit, aka the misalignment. And then with Jupiter being exalted in Cancer, and this, this relationship with the moon being exalted in Taurus and everything, it's going to play out where you may put too much meaning and reasoning onto a particular situation. A Taurus may, as far as even though it's not the actual natural archetype of a Taurus to put too much meaning and reasoning, I'm saying with the misalignment, if it's in a situation where it's not being understood and it's playing out that energy of trying to put a meaning and reasoning onto thing, it just ends up being more stubborn, and you end up being way too oversensitive and everything with the moon being exalted in Taurus. And then with Mercury being away in Sagittarius, I'm saying, now Taurus is an earth sign, and Mercury is also ruled by Virgo, which is an earth sign also. So that energy of Mercury being away in Taurus, not in Taurus, but in Sagittarius, it plays out the energy where it's not only does a Taurus not understand the Sagittarian energy, Sagittarius energy doesn't understand how to communicate things the right way. So a Taurus may not even understand where a Sagittarius is coming from, because a Sagittarius may not, understand. A Sagittarius may not be able to put into words what it's trying to convey as far as the experiences it went through and the advice that it wants to give to the Taurus. That's another thing. Taurus may not understand how to get the right advice, because once again, it may be in a certain living condition that it's been familiar with its whole life, aka the second house is right next to the third house, which is the house of familiarity, which rules Gemini, and the second house rules Taurus. This is going to play out where it's a Taurus just isn't going to understand where a Sagittarius is coming from as far as what it's trying to convey as far as wisdom, because a Taurus may be well, I already know this one particular living condition can get me from point A to point B. I don't really need your advice and everything. One second. But yeah, that's how a Taurus is. I don't really need your advice and everything. And the way a Sagittarius may try to convey this to a Taurus may just be okay, this guy is way too expressive, he's way too jittery and everything like that. I can't fuck with this guy. And that's how Taurus doesn't understand Sagittarius. But in this area, it may not be as positive as the Libra side, but at the end of the day, if a Taurus budges itself to the right way, it can actually experience these things that the Sagittarius is trying to convey to the Taurus, and then the Taurus can actually expand more of its horizons and bring that fallen state of Uranus into its exalted state, and be able to change everything for its better, everything for the better as far as the Taurus, aka rising that Uranus from the depths of the fallen state of Taurus. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and we're going to get into Gemini in just a few. Okay, peace. Hee hee.